In the last few hours, Congresswoman, we've heard from your friend and colleague, Jim Clyburn. We've heard from Speaker Ryan. We've heard from Nancy Pelosi. What say you? Should John Conyers go ahead and step aside?
Craig, it's good to be with you. I don't know whether I'll be talking to you early morning from now on, but let me say this. I just came off the floor of the House speaking about the zero tolerance and the responsibility we have for a safe workplace. And you know what? I asked the question why Republicans did not allow us to have a roll call vote on the sexual harassment mandatory training resolution on the floor of the House yesterday, and I also called for that bill to be brought up again so that members of Congress can go on record on their positions.
Speaking of going on the record, Congresswoman, should he stay, should he go?
Yeah, I think we all should go on the record for what our belief is in a safe workplace. But as it relates to the situation with Mr. Conyers, as an African-American woman, I do not take a back seat to anyone on my fight for women's rights and as well my fight to ensure as we go forward we have real laws to protect them. Reauthorization of the voting of the Violence Against Women Act is something that I'm looking forward to working extensively on in expanding sexual harassment and sexual assault. I believe the decision to go or come will be the decision of that member. As I understand it, Mr. Conyers is with his family. I'm praying for them. I'm praying for the women, and I'm praying for them to make their decision. But all of those decisions are usually at the of the member, and I expect that to be the case here.
Congresswoman, do you believe the women who've accused Congressman Conyers? Do you believe them?
I think I was on record in the Judiciary Committee that I believe women who have the courage to come forward, and I have not taken a back seat to that stand. But I think what is important is to, again, recognize that the rights of women will be enhanced and protected by us fighting to change these laws and to change this system. That's the system that I intend to work on to do. And I believe as I pray for the family of Mr. Conyers and pray for him that he, as other members have had their time to do, will make his decision and as well make his decision for him and the greater good. I've only known him to be a patriot, and that's what I would expect.
Congresswoman, so again, just to clarify, you've indicated that you think that it should be left up to the congressman to decide whether he should step aside. I would ask you, though, here's a case where we know of at least one settlement. A woman comes forward, she accuses the congressman, there's a settlement paid, by the way, of course, as you know, using taxpayer dollars. That would seem to be an admission of some sort of guilt. Are you concerned at all about your party no longer being able to profess to be the party of women if it doesn't force a congressman like Jim Conyers out?
Craig, absolutely not, because the story is not yet concluded. I think what is appalling is, one, that we have a candidate in Alabama that has accusations against individuals that were children, and he's now saying these attacks are because of bisexuals or transgender or socialists or gays. I think there should be outrage about that, and I'm outraged about it. Equally, the President of the United States sits in the White House and spews out anti-Muslim hatred videos, and as well has 16 women cry every day about being heard. I want to have those people heard. I've said publicly, if we have hearings, let us hear from the women who have been engaged in a number of these issues, including the President, Mr. Moore, and others. So I don't take a back seat to that. I don't think today is the end. I don't think tomorrow's the end. I said I'm praying for Mr. Conyers' family. He is with his family, and I believe that as we move forward, they will have to make that decision. Okay. Doesn't mean, of course, that the women will not have remedy and that the issues that you have just said will not be vigorously investigated. Okay. But I want to be very clear, if I might, and conclude on this note. Women come in all backgrounds. The history of African-American women had a history of sexual assaults in the early history of this nation. So we don't take this lightly, but we do take the fact
Congresswoman,
that
with all due respect, the woman who was on the Today Show this morning, she looks like us. She is an African-American woman who came forward and said that she was sexually assaulted at work, and you're saying that there's no due respect. That's what I'm saying. You're mishearing me. That's what I'm saying. We take no back seat
to the issues that we've been confronted with. And I think the way forward is to change these laws and to move forward and strengthen these protections and to let this process proceed with the decision by Mr. Conyers and the family. I want every matter to be addressed and redressed vigorously, and I'll fight for it.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. I am no way. I'm just saying we know this story. And so don't think that we're going to be wimps in fighting for this. Listen, the story is yet to be finished, but ask the question, my good friend, why we couldn't vote on that resolution yesterday. Why shouldn't it come up on the floor, and why shouldn't we be able to get on the record?
While we've been talking, while we've been having this conversation, your colleague and friend Steny Hoyer has also called on Congressman Conyers to step aside. That would be all House Democratic leaders at this point, it would seem. Are you still prepared to I guess, be on the other side of this one?
And I don't think I'm on the other side. And I want to say to those who may be tweeting right now, I'm not on the other side of it. I am on the side for fighting for women and alongside of women.
To be clear, the sides I'm talking about here, on one side, your colleagues who are calling on John Conyers to step aside immediately, and on the other side, Congress people who are saying that we should wait for more women to come forward or let the congressman just make the decision himself?
No, I'm not waiting for any more women to come forward. Let me be very clear. Praying for the family and letting a member make that decision. And all I'm saying is the story is not finished. And therefore, and I have no quarrel with the members who have made their positions known, their leadership. I fight for these issues. I will continue to fight for these issues. And I'm hoping we'll get the laws changed to strengthen the protection of women all over this nation. That's a fight that I'm engaged in every single day. And I thank you.
Congresswoman, I thank you. Congresswoman Sheila.
Real news, real reports, real things happening around the world right now.